Coming to you every week from no place in particular. This is the Forever Road podcast, featuring Bosco. He's a music lover, a historian, and a connoisseur of the obscure. Find us on some great platforms like iHeart, Spotify, and even more as we keep growing. Now, pointed down the Forever Road, here's Bosco.
Man, I love that intro music. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, what is going on, brothers and sisters? Bosco here, the best worst thing you've never seen. Forever Road podcast. It has been one of those weird weeks. I wanted to check in, see how everybody's doing. Just shoot just a few minutes of this day in history, and maybe a brief update on what's going on with Turtle. And just check in and say, hey, everybody. It's kind of late, but I just got home. I had to fix my air conditioner here at the house. So, stupid part was, got home, replaced the parts, and I realized I left my keys to the house in my toolbox at work. Smart, right? So, guess who gets to have another 30-minute ride back to the shop? This guy. It's pretty cool. But here I am. Made it back. Came inside. Turned the air conditioner on. Everything is working fine. The temperature is dropping in the house. Thank God. And if you know anything about the heat and humidity down in Georgia, well, then you know. But yeah, I got it fixed. Thanks to some big help from some people, friends of mine. So that's that. And then I found out there were some updates on Call of Duty, and I couldn't get online and play video games. So I figured I'd do this. Tell everybody I said hey. It's been one of those weird weeks, man. Go to work, kind of a little bit, get some stuff done, feel burned out already. And then, I think part of it is, the heat coming on. So it makes everything real, you kind of get tired easy, quicker. And then the other part is, I don't know, just not sleeping well. I don't know. Of course, now, can you really sleep in a hot house? But without further ado, there's some updates on Turtle. He's been very hard headed. I don't know if y'all follow me personally on my Facebook page, but I've been keeping in contact with his wife, and she's been updating everything, all the CT scans. So I know there's no real way of knowing how long we're gonna be without Turtle. I'm not worried about him coming back here, but I am worried about him healing up and getting better. That's the biggest thing. I did ask him if he wanted me to bring his PlayStation 2, but their internet probably sucks up there. I don't know. But yeah, y'all bear with me. It looks like it's gonna be me until further notice. I've been working on the house. Got a new roof on the house. Haven't worked on the RAM charger anymore. I'll update y'all probably this weekend. We'll see where we're at with that. And just, like I said, kicking along this week, man. This day in music, so let's kick this off. James Lowden, who became known as Sonny James, best known for his 1957 hit Young Love, dubbed the Southern Gentleman, has 72 country and pop chart hits from 1953 to 1983, including 23 number one hits. Died. But James Lowden was born this day in 1928. He would pass away February 22nd, 2016, at the age of 87. Hang on. I think that's better. Little Walter. American blues musician, singer, songwriter Little Walter. He was the first one to put a harp player to amplify his harmonica. To give it that distorted, echoing sound. His virtuosity and musical innovations fundamentally altered many listeners' expectations of what was possible in blues harmonica. He would. He was born this day, 1930. I love an old blues harp, man. Good Lord, there's nothing like it for real. I want y'all to comment. Matter of fact, while I'm at it, hit like and subscribe right here on our YouTube channel. Click share on this video. Get it out there. Get the word out there. We're still kicking along here on Forever Road. And yeah, go on Spotify. Hit the Spotify button. Click follow. Go into your settings. Click auto download. It really helps us out. Let's see. We're going to move on. We got Rita Coolidge. Sorry, let me read that again. One before that. Reether Dixon was born this day, 1944. From the American R&B girl group, the Bobettes, who had their 1957 top 10 song, Mr. Lee. They were discovered by James Daly, a record producer, while playing a concert at Apollo. They signed a recording contract on the Atlantic label. Miss Dixon would pass away January 8th, 2014. So happy birthday to those three. Miss Rita Coolidge was born this day in 1945. If you don't know who that is, U.S. number 7 on the charts, single 1977, We're All Alone. She was married to singer-songwriter, actor, and outlaw, rather, Mr. Chris Rubber Duck. If you don't know the movie Convoy, if you know the movie Blade, he played Whistler, or shall I say Whistler's dad as well. I guess the second Whistler. Anyway, they were married from 73 to 80. Miss Rita Coolidge was a singer, recording artist, and backing singer for Joe Cocker, Leon Russell, Dylan Hendricks, and Clapton, and Delaney and Bonnie Bramlett. Her birthday is today, 1945. Turtle's favorite, Mr. Ray Parker Jr., was born today, 1954. If you know who Ray Parker Jr. is, he's the guy who did the song Ghostbusters. Let's see. Here we go. This is a really good one, and I'd love to get to a point where we cover them. Today, 1966, Mr. Johnny Colts, the bass player for the Black Crowes. Bass player for the Black Crowes had the hit single "Hard to Handle." If you don't know who Black Crowes is, please let me know. I'm gonna cover Black Crowes. We're gonna cover Black Crowes later on. He was also a bass player for Lynyrd Skynyrd. So happy birthday to Johnny Colt. Next up, Mr. Tim McGraw, or one of the Dutton boys, one of the OG Duttons. And if you watch Yellowstone, Tim McGraw, country singer and actor. Many of McGraw's albums and singles have topped the country charts. Excess of 40 million units in the United States. McGraw had 11 consecutive albums debut at number 1. 21 singles hitting number 1. He is married to the wonderful Miss Faith Hill, who also plays his wife in Yellowstone. think it's 1883. Yeah, 1883. Yeah, so that's his dad was also a baseball player, Tim McGraw, Tug McGraw. Sorry. So happy birthday to those guys, Tim McGraw and everybody, Johnny Colt. Today, 1956, Johnny Cash, John R. Cash, released his song "I Walk the Line," became his first number one hit. Uh, Remained on the charts for 43 weeks, selling 2 million copies. The unique chord progression for the song was inspired by the backwards playback of guitar runs on Cash's tape recorder while he was in the Air Force, stationed in Germany. Everybody ever been to Germany? Let's see what else on the outlaw spectrum of things. Y'all know how I am. Led Zeppelin started their 2 week. We just did Led Zeppelin episode. This day, 1976, Led Zeppelin started their 2 week run at number one on the U.S. album chart with Presence, the group's fifth number one album. I thought there was another one. I looked all this up earlier, had it written down. I was going to do it at lunch, and then I got busy at lunch. And it was, well, lunch was disappointing. Just to say the least, lunch was disappointing. It was sad, man. And let's see. And Barry White. The house where Kurt Cobain this day in 1997, so 3 years after the fact. The house that Kurt Cobain committed suicide, super slide. Anyway, the house he perished in went up for sale. The asking price for the 5-bedroom house built in 1902 was $3 million. The carriage house where he, the guitarist, used anyway, had died, had been demolished at that point. Because who wants to, buy that part of it? That's weird though. Like anybody that watches this, and I know most of our listeners or whatever, please comment below. You ever been to a house or been in a house or bought a house or lived in a house, whatever the situation is? Been to a house somebody actually like took themselves out of the game like that, or somebody did something horrendous in? I don't really want to know details, but if you have, comment below, I'm sorry. Or maybe not, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I've been. Okay. Like my grandparents, Mima passed away in 94, November 90. I want to say it's November 94. And the family kept the house for a long time. That's all I got on music history for today. Let's see, month? No, day. Month. We'll do yesterday's because I haven't done this in a few days. Electric blues pioneer Muddy Waters dies this day, 1983. 68-year-old blues legend Muddy Water died in his sleep. Born McKinley, Morganfield, Mississippi, to sharecroppers. He began singing and playing guitar as a teenager, but his career didn't take off until he moved to Chicago in the 40s, where he made his first recordings. It was via a series of electric blues singles for the Chess label. In the 50s, It was a series of singles in the 50s that Water broke new ground. The biggest of his 16 U.S. R&B hits was 1954's "I'm Your Hoochie Coochie Man." Yes, you heard that. I'm going to say it again. His biggest hit was "I'm Your Hoochie Coochie Man." It's a great song. Often referred to the father of the modern Chicago blues, Waters influenced many 60s British groups, including Rolling Stones, who took their name from his 1950 hit single, Rolling Stone. Not to be confused with the Temptations. Papa was Rolling Stone. This day in 1991, Nirvana inked a deal with music mogul David Geffen, DGC label, for an advance payment, which financed the breakthrough of the second album, Nevermind. The Seattle-based grunge rock pioneers had previously recorded for Sub Pop, a local Indian label. An Indian label. Yeah. 1977, Led Zeppelin, there we go again, broke the world record for the number of people attending a rock concert. 76,229 people saw them play at the Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan. The feat, ratified by Guinness Book of Records, had previously been held by another British band, The Who, which gave them their name, really. Who were seen and heard by a crowd at the time, 75,962 people. The same venue in December 1975. Let's see. I don't know anybody's birthdays. They're born on April 30th. Okay, like I said, we'll cover yesterday's stuff too. I don't recognize any of that. American guitarist Duane Eddy died of cancer in Franklin, Tennessee, 4 days after his 86th birthday. He had a string of hits in the 50s and 60s, produced by Lee Hazelwood, which were noted for their characteristically twangy sound, including Rebel Rouser, Peter Gunn, and Because They're Young. Eddie became the first rock and roll guitarist to have a signature guitar when, in 1961, Gilded Guitar Company introduced the Duane Eddy signature model DE 400 and the deluxe DE 500. April 30th, 2022, Miss Naomi Judd would pass away of a self-inflicted, she flipped her own off switch, at her home in Tennessee. She was 76 years old. Kentucky Born singer, was part of the Grammy Award-winning duo The Judds, which she performed with her daughter Winona. The Judds released the studio. That's kind of rough, man. You got, I think she was suffering. Let's see. Ben E. King. Here you go. Soul R&B singer with the Drifters, died at his Hackensack University Medical Center at the age of 76. The Drifters, I think Ben E. King. Yeah, he Saved the Last Dance for Me. King scored the 87 UK #1 solo with single Stand By Me. First released in 1961. Y'all remember that song? It's a great song. Let's see. Nazareth drummer Daryl Sweet died, at age 52 after suffering a fatal heart attack before a show in New Albany, Indiana. Nazareth had the 1973 UK #9 single Broken Down Angel and the #8 single in the US in 1976 was Love Hurts. There's another cool song. I think it's called Hair of the Dog. Uh, if you know that song, then you know what I'm talking about. Um, let's see. I don't see much else for April 30th. Other than, well, like I said, huh, nothing as far as what we talk about. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. This day, well, April 30th, 1970, Twigs Linden, road manager for the Allman Brothers Band, was arrested for murder after he stabbed club manager during an argument over a contract. They owed him some money. The band didn't want to pay Twigs. Um, Twigs' lawyers argued that he went into temporary insanity at the time of the incident because the touring with the Allman Brothers Band would drive anyone insane. And Lyndon Twigs was acquitted. Now, later on, Twigs would pass away of a skydiving accident over, I think it's Duanesburg, New York, oddly enough. Don't know that. Well, like I said, I just want to get on here and just kind of, y'all still continue to pray for Turtle. Oh, that's a cool one. We're gonna do a CCR episode, but y'all continue to pray for Brother Turtle for real. He's he's still struggling. He's got a long way to go, but we're still praying for him. Thank you to the guys from One Morning I'm Out of Here. I reached out to Jacob with Operation Tackle Box. I told y'all, we talk about Operation Tackle Box all the time on here, every episode, and I'll bring it up now. Y'all go on to operationtacklebox.org. Follow them on Facebook, Operation Tackle Box, and on Instagram, Operation_Tackle_Box on Instagram as well. But yeah, I reached out to Jacob, let him know what was going on. I actually saw pictures of Turtle's motorcycle and the car that he hit. Wow. I'm not gonna post them on here. I know that it's pretty rough. Like I said, I went and seen him. I've seen him twice since he's been in the hospital. Around lunchtime, I think today, he was going in for another CT scan on his brain. So I still hadn't. I got to reach back out, and I don't want to aggravate her, so I'm gonna reach back out to his wife tomorrow sometime and see what's going on, see what an update is or anything like that. But like I said, I really, really appreciate y'all. Turtle really. I talked to him. I told him, everybody's thinking about him, praying for him, loving on him. So y'all continue. I thank y'all very much for listening, for watching. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button. Don't forget to go on to operationtacklebox.org. Even if you don't get any super sweet merch, no hats, t-shirts, hoodies. I know how you females love the hoodies. So you got time right now. You can go on operationtacklebox.org, get you a cool hoodie before the fall turns around. Because what? We got about 3 or 4 months again. Go and get you a hoodie. But that way you'll have a new one for the new fall to kick, before it comes around. But yeah, continue love and prayer for Turtle. Thank y'all very much. I know this is like last moment, but I wanted to get on here and say, hey, I know it's been a weird week. I don't know if y'all had the same problem, but I have. It's been just a weird week, man. I'm ready for it to be over with. I'm ready to get some sleep. Which is what I'm about to do. I'll just go upstairs and go night-night. So I really appreciate y'all. I will see y'all Tuesday. What? I will see y'all Sunday. We're gonna have a monthly movie review. It's just gonna be me. We're gonna review the movie, which I didn't do it last Sunday because everything going on with Turtle, and I wasn't sure what needed to be done, things like that. And I was actually, I take that back. I'm not gonna, let me back up. I stepped on a nail Sunday, and I was in some pain. And it went through in the sweet meat of the foot too. God. So I laid on the couch all the rest of the day Sunday in pain, not doing anything. But I got my show notes ready. We're gonna review Need for Speed. And some of the other actors that are in that movie as well. I think it's a fun movie. I think it's a trip. It's one of my favorite, just one of those obscure movies. I think it's highly underrated. Unfortunately, kind of like in my book, like when the A-Team movie. We hadn't reviewed the A-Team movie, have we? Anyway, I know we talk about that stuff all the time. But yeah, I will see y'all here Sunday. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with some more on this day. And I need to start getting some automotives on this day stuff, man, because on this day in automotive history. Let's see what it says. Just Googled it. That's all I did. I don't know. I'll figure that out. Anyway. All right. That's all I got for now. Those of you who are going to watch this, don't forget, share this out. If you're not if you don't subscribe to us, click like, subscribe, save that notification, hit that notification bell, let y'all know that we're going live. I'll give y'all a heads up as we get closer to Sunday, and I definitely hope to see y'all in the chats. I really, really appreciate it. Turtle says thank you for your thoughts and prayers. If y'all do want to send him anything, go on to Facebook, Forever Road Podcast, or if you have my personal Facebook, go on to Facebook, shoot me a message. I'll give you the address where to send flowers or balloons or get well cards or however you want to do it. I'm not going to air all his information out right here. So with that being said, y'all have a great, fantastic Friday. But I'll see y'all again on Instagram, probably. I love y'all. Have a good night. Peace.
Thanks for riding with us on the Forever Road Podcast with Bosco. Hey, you can find and follow us at Instagram and Facebook, or just drop us a line or a question anytime at foreverroadpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time on the Forever Road Podcast.